What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Creative Hunter podcast. This is episode 30. Thank you for tuning in. This week's guest is Austin. He is the founder and owner of Grakksaw. They make some awesome gear. They make ultra lightweight game bags. They make boot dryers. He's got skull hangers. This deer right here on the wall, it's got one of his hangers on it. So super sweet, very innovative and cool hangers for the deer. He's got stuff for elk. He's got table hangers, all sorts of cool stuff. But anyways, I hope you guys really enjoy this. We talk a bunch about his business and his products, and a little bit about creative work and all that stuff. Um, as far as podcast news, not really a ton right now. I've got the Bino visors that are for sale, getting those shipped and sold. Been really happy about it. I haven't sold as many as I wanted to, which is just kind of like how it goes. So I'm working more on posting more about them and just getting the word out more, working on marketing for those and just keeping it going. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode with Austin, and we'll catch you guys next time. Yeah, dude, I appreciate you coming on for a little bit.
Yeah,
Since we're
no
on Zoom,
problem.
I don't know how long it'll let me record, but if it kicks us off, we can always like start a new meeting if we want to keep talking.
Okay.
Because I think sometimes they put a limit on here. So,
Okay.
but other than that, dude, um, how you been this fall?
Been great, dude. I feel like the day-to-day stuff kind of like slows down the overall goals. I don't know, you probably feel like that too. Sometimes you have a bunch of goals and I'm like, man, my day-to-day shipping orders and just doing basic little stuff. I'm like, man, it's hours a day of doing piddly stuff.
Yeah,
So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Hunting was all right. Um, got a bull. Not quite the season you had, but a decent season. So
well, yeah, I think I saw the bull you killed. I think, but
yeah.
you and some buddies went out, right? You guys got a couple.
Yeah, I went to Idaho. I got a Diamond Creek tag,
Oh
and I
no way.
went there I went there like last part of September, and I had 6.5 days. Got close a few times, didn't kill one. Then went to Wyoming, and my cousin and a resident guide there, or just one of my buddies, but he can say he's a guide. He took us in. We went into the thoroughfare by the Yellowstone border.
Okay.
So it was like it was a long way. I mean, I killed my bull 28 miles from the trailhead. So it
Wow,
was grizzlies everywhere. It was an adventure for sure.
that's cool.
But
That's way cool. Yeah, congrats on that.
thanks, man. Well, your bull looked awesome, man. You killed it like those open pines.
Yeah, it was
Like that
sweet.
looked really cool environment.
It was a cool spot. Yeah. Kind of a new spot for me. I never hunted there before till this year. And turns out it was a pretty good spot, so I'll probably go back.
Awesome, dude.
But
Is that an OTC tag?
yeah, for me it is as a
Sweet.
resident. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, dude. So you were
Oh, I
archery?
like the skull hanger up there.
Yeah, dude, that's yours right there. I need
I
another
was I was
couple.
looking at the arrows, the shafts, and I was like, what kind of hanger is that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I need a couple more because I have a few more skulls I don't have hangers for. But
Dude, this is a tangent because I just see you wearing the DJI mic. Those things are awesome. I got a set.
yeah.
Um, which I need to I don't know, I'm using the Yeti now, but I probably need to mess with getting the DJI in my are you using like a DSLR for your camera?
No, I'm just using my laptop camera.
Well, that's a good camera. Um, but the tangent was have you seen the Insta360 X4 cameras?
Yeah, dude. So you messaged me about them.
I
I've
did? Oh shit, I already
no, you're
maybe
good.
I must have done it right away when I first saw it though, because I messaged like three people like, have you seen this thing? It is crazy.
Yeah. I kind of keep up with some of that stuff. I know like Insta360, they've come out with a lot of good cameras recently. Just like great sensors on them and great, there's like good stuff. I haven't bought one, but they're sweet for what they are.
Dude, like they have a thing like it's called the minus drone kit, or like without a drone you're okay, something like that. It's got like a 9 foot pole, but like Brian Call was the one who I was watching some of his footage. He was in town here in Jeff City, and so it extends out. It's like an overhead drone shot on some of them when he's hiking and stuff. But then he had it in a stand, like extending out. And dude, it can get you shooting it. It can get multiple things. So like it's seeing the deer and you shooting, and you can put both of them on the same time. It is so wild, man.
Dude,
Like
that's
I was like,
insane.
that is the coolest camera I've ever seen. So I figure someone with your skills, you could do some cool stuff with it. But
Yeah. I've wanted a 360 cam. I just haven't got one yet. But especially for self-filming stuff, it
mm-hmm.
makes like it'd be sweet. And for archery stuff too.
Yeah, for archer stuff. I mean, like you could probably just run it in your pack, like
Yeah.
right over your shoulder, like over your left shoulder, probably. So when you're drawing stuff, it'd be getting all of you in the bow and the elk. It'd be
Yeah.
sweet, man.
That'd be cool. Have you filmed many of your hunts?
No, just Snapchat shit. Like I have
Yeah.
like hours of Snapchat stuff, but no. Dude, it's so like I have another level of respect for guys who pull it off, especially solo guys like Remy doing it. Dude, I
Yeah.
feel like almost every time I would have killed an elk, every elk I've killed or mule deer, I don't know if I could have killed even half of them while trying to film it.
It's tough.
Probably not even like a quarter. It's so tough. Even with someone else filming you, something always goes wrong. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I was filming my buddy this year in Wyoming, but then I was filming him, waiting for him to shoot. The bull went behind these pines, so then I had to start calling. So I stopped filming, and then the bull came out when I'm not filming. I'm like, gosh dang it!
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the archery, filming archery is the hardest, especially like mule deer. If you're filming someone else, that's the hardest. But solo filming archery is like by far the hardest one, especially.
filming mule deer archery, it's like you can't afford unless you're like you just can't afford double the sound, double the movement. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
most people can't. So
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's fun though. Um, Dude, let's get into just some gear. I kind of want to hear your story because I feel like a lot of people have maybe heard of Grakksaw, but they don't really know what you're all about and um, kind of the extent of everything. And I've listened to some of the podcasts you've been on, like Gritty, Brian Call's podcast. But
mhm.
how'd you like start it? What's the timeline of it? Like where'd you come up with everything? And I just want to hear the story of it.
Yeah, in like 2016, I think that was my first elk hunt. One of my buddies wanted to. He said, "Let's go elk hunting." So um, we decided to go. Got a Colorado OTC tag, and we almost killed elk, which was very surprising. Like I should have killed a very nice bull, but I just didn't know what I was doing and screwed up.
Yeah.
Um, the whole when you hear people say always assume they're in the last spot unless you know they're not. Yeah, I if I would have known that, the bull would be dead because I was like 25 yards from it.
Dang.
But anyway, so I messed up. But on that hunt, I brought pillowcases for game bags,
Mm.
and at this time, 2016, there wasn't too many lightweight game bags. There was pretty much the lightest ones were maybe caribou, and I did the whole hunt and I was like, man, I carried around these 2 pounds of game bags and they were soaking wet. And like, that was just stupid, took up like a basketball size area in my pack. And
Yeah.
so I decided to make my own because I was like, that's like the cheapest weight I could lose right there besides my fat ass. I could lose 2 pounds of game bags. So I, uh, I got to work on those. And the next year in 2017, I went out to Colorado again and killed a nice big 6 point bull. And the game bags worked. And then I was like, I need to start selling these. So started getting them made and started selling them. And that's kind of when it started, like 2017, 2018. But then like 2020 is when I really started kind of doubling down on it. I had a lot of other stuff going on before then. I had to rebuild my entire house from literally. I even had to tear out my basement like the slab, everything, like the whole entire house. So it took me like 2 years to deal with all that. But yeah, I've been making new stuff ever since. I got a lot of
Nice.
stuff. I got a lot of stuff being worked on that is coming out like a couple things a year now. So
Nice. That's cool. Um, when you went about like getting like fabrics for game bags and stuff, what were you looking for, and what type of fabric did you end up going with? Because I feel like that's something that like never really thought about, but that could be a big deal.
yeah, well, it had to be nylon because the strength to weight ratio is better than polyester, so
Yeah.
that's, or cotton or some blend, like it's just the strongest per gram. So I went with a nylon, and it had to be a ripstop, and it had to be um, significantly lighter than what was out then. So I went to searching. I mean, there's a ton of different nylons in the same range, and I don't know. I haven't really found too much of a performance difference from like the most expensive American to like mid-priced Chinese or Korean or any other thing. Like the performance is pretty similar on all the like 1 to 1.3 ounce per yard nylons that I've found, you know. But yeah, I actually just threw away a few rolls I had from the beginning, but dude, I've bought thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of fabric, like just testing, before I even made a single game bag. I probably spent 2 or 3 grand on different fabrics.
Yeah. Dang.
So it took a long time, but um, once you get something, you can just keep going with it. So
Yeah. That's cool. What was your like design process on in creating a product? Because I've been working on a couple products for myself, and it's just kind of fun. I enjoy it. What's kind of like your process on that? Because you've come up with a few different things so far.
yeah, first it's like the need. That's, I mean, because I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess I'm kind of a caveman. You find the need, and then you're like, oh, I need to make a better whatever widget. But the need, and then the second thing is the like just in my head. I usually have the product pretty much done in my head. I feel like before I even strike doing anything. Like as far as done, I mean, I know what materials and how I'm going to try the initial draft, the
Yeah.
prototype. I don't just like get a bunch of stuff and start trying to put it together. I have an idea in my head, and then I get everything I need and try and build it from there. And it usually doesn't look the same or work even the first time, but yeah, I mean that's kind of how I approach it. Need, concept, prototype. After the prototype, a lot of revisions and testing, sending it to guys, sending it to you. Like I don't know when the first, I don't know when I first sent you skull hangers and stuff, but um, just send it to a bunch of guys, have them try it on a bunch of, whatever their environment is, whatever your product is, and then take their feedback. So
Yeah.
like I don't know. I guess you have a few elk hangers, right? You have like you had. I just sent you one, but then you had a few from a while back.
From you?
Yeah, did you?
No, I don't have any hail hangers from you.
Oh
Um,
my gosh. I thought I just sent you some.
no, I don't have any. I think I have two deer hangers. I don't know
Oh
where.
my gosh, man, you got to be more of a squeaky wheel. If you need something, you just got to say. No, and then yeah, stuff like that elk hanger. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
simple. I mean, you're hanging an elk head, but it takes a lot of design to do it. Mine goes behind their eyes, like the occipital bones,
Yeah.
instead of like the other way people do it. But it just took, I mean, takes like 100 revisions.
Right. That's cool, dude. Do you have a like laser cutter or something to cut out the metal stuff? Bend it?
Uh, no, I contract that out to a shop.
Oh, nice.
I did the initial prototypes. I did a bunch of that here in my town, and like
Yeah.
any prototypes, I'll get done locally if I can't do it myself, and then figure
Yeah.
out how to make it from there. Because that's the other part of the product is like, I guess that's another part of the design. You have to look at right away from concept is like when you think of how you're going to do something, you have to see if it's going to be affordable, not just to you, but
Hmm.
to the customer. Cause like there's stuff I want to make and I don't know how I'd make it cheaper and better. So I'm not doing it, you
Yeah.
know? Like, there's actually this company. Gosh, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. I got their water bottle. They were on Shark Tank, but I didn't know this. I was working on a water bottle that had UV in it. So, like, instead of a stereo you just push a button and it kills everything in your
Oh, that's
water.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna kill, right? It's gonna awesome. And then, like, after quite some time, I did some market research, which I should have done right away. And there's already a company that does it. They're just not really in the outdoor space yet, but it's all patented and they're moving into outdoor stuff. And I actually had some meetings with them and was like, yeah, you guys need to get into the outdoor space because you'll
Yeah.
dominate. But anyway, stuff like that. It's like their bottle's like $120 and like mine was going to be like 500. I'm like, well, you guys can have it because I'm not going to be able to touch that.
Yeah.
So good on them. Oh my
Dang.
gosh, what is that company's name? I want to check. Can't believe I can't remember them, but if you Google like UV water bottle, it'll come up. But
Yeah.
they were on Shark Tank, and
Dang. That's cool.
yeah, but I thought it was a good idea. Thought it was going to be my ticket to retirement until someone
Right.
else already had it done.
Yeah. And then you've got the boot dryers too, which I love those boot
Yep,
dryers.
got the boot
Um,
dryers. I'm still, unfortunately for some people, they like I updated them once, but I think I'm actually going to update them again in the future. I'm gonna I think I have a way to drop like 2 ounces on them at least, so they'll be like 4 ounces. So
dang.
be super light. So I'm working on just doing little stuff with those, and I got a new product coming out at the expo this year, so I'm really excited about that. I've been working on it for 3 years, so it's a really good
Nice.
product.
That'll be good. Are you gonna have
Yeah,
a booth at the expo?
yeah, I'll be right by same spot I always am, right by Peaks and Swaro. I'm
Okay.
right across the aisle from both of them.
Nice. That's a good spot.
It's a great spot. Yeah. When
Yeah.
at the end of the show last year, I was like, talking to the Mule Deer Foundation, like, hey, I'll pay today, because I'm definitely not going to lose this spot. It's a great alley. And it's like where all the backcountry hunters are, so I'm kind of in the niche there instead of being
Yeah.
near a bunch of like tanning places and knickknack
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. Nice, dude. That's good. Um, cool. So a lot of people have like reach out to me all the time. And I'm sure a lot of these other guys too, like Stealthy Hunter and like Brian Call. Um, how did you like get in with those guys and become buddies with them?
Well, back whenever I started making the game bags, I knew that was when Ryan was like obsessed with lightweight because he didn't have his goats and
Yeah.
you know, so he was hiking crazy miles. Uh, so I just knew who he was, but he didn't have a huge social media following. Like it was
Right.
big, I guess. I mean, maybe like 5,000 or something, but nothing crazy. And then um, I knew of Brian. I'd listened to Brian's podcast, and I just so happened to contact Ryan and get him a bunch of bags and have him test them out. And then it just so happened later that season he went hunting with Brian. That was the first hunt they did together. So then he had extra bags and stuff, and him and Brian both used the bags. And then Brian contacted me, I think, and was like, "Hey man, can I get a couple sets of bags?" And it kind of went from there. So
Nice. That's
I guess
cool.
just got blessed, I don't know. Right place, right
Yeah.
time, really.
Yeah. I like those guys a lot. They're good guys. I don't know them super well, but I've met them a few times and stuff, and they do good work and kind of some
Yeah,
inspiration for
they
some of my stuff. So
they're both are great guys, and like
yeah,
Ryan isn't. I don't know how many films and stuff he's going to be in this year, but that guy's he's a good man. He's done a lot of. Well, both of them are good men, but Ryan doesn't get in the spotlight as much, I guess. But
yeah,
he does a lot of good stuff for a lot of people in the industry, and no one will, no, he does it without people ever gonna know what he did. Like he's just a good guy.
yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah,
That's really
Ryan won't he won't let me do anything for him. I try. He probably wouldn't even let me pay for his dinner. Like he just
cool.
so
Yeah, that's fun. Um, Well, good, dude. So, what I really like about the game bags that you've got is like you can just wash them and reuse them. And like I've reused your game bags like at least probably 5 or 6 times since I've got them.
Wow.
And like really, so it was like spring bear, we killed it, got a couple bears, and then archery mule deer, 2 elk this year, and then I've been on a few hunts where we've used them. So yeah, a mule deer hunt that was a couple weeks ago, and that might be it. But that's 5 that I've
It's
yeah
good.
used
That's all the
them,
elk bone
washed
in,
them.
right?
Actually, most of the ones I was using are the smaller ones,
Yeah.
the long
The
skinny ones,
XLs.
and then
Yeah,
I
those
was
are my favorite ones. That's the
yeah
XLs are pretty much all I use.
yeah I like them a lot, especially because like it fits perfectly in your backpack if you got that thing stuffed.
Dude, you get the I'm usually hunting by myself, so I made those to backtrack. I made those bags where you could fit two side by side in your pack.
Oh,
It's like
nice.
I usually 3 trip elk, so I because go I would rather pack heavier weight and walk less miles. I don't know. Just sometimes
Yeah,
the in and out, and plus if you do 4 trip or 5 trip in elk, then that's like a whole nother day to day and a half. If you're 5+ miles, it's a lot more time. And I'm usually pressed for time. So, anyways, you could stack them both side by side. They're 50 pounds each. So you can hold 100 pounds of elk in a pack. And I mean, that's not crazy weight. It's a heavy load, but it's nothing, it's most guys can do that. And so that's why I built them exactly that size 100 pounds. They fit in tight and you're good to go.
yeah, it's perfect. I really like those ones. And then the meat tarp is legit too, because
Thanks, man.
yeah, um,
Dude, I need to pack it more. My problem with the meat tarp is I'm always a weight weenie, man. Like, I don't know. It's like,
oh yeah,
man, that 6 ounces is like, ugh, it kills me sometimes. Like, it has to be the right time for me to take the tarp and even the boot dryers. Like, my wife always gives me crap because she's like, why aren't you bringing your boot dryers? I'm like, because I'm going to Idaho and it's 85 degrees and it's not going to rain for 3 weeks. She's like, well, what
yeah,
if you need them? I'm like, well, I'm not packing around 6 ounces for 2 weeks to use one time. I'm just not going to do it.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm the same way. With like the boot dryers, because you don't need them on every hunt. I haven't used them yet this fall just because I haven't needed to. Um, I'm taking them on a hunt this week though, because it's supposed to be snowing cold.
if you got a stove, I mean,
Yeah,
that's when you bring them when you have a stove.
exactly. And so like spring bear, that's like they came clutch on that hunt. Just
Yeah.
because like you're trudging through snow sometimes, it's raining, and so those things are sweet. Um, and then yeah, the meat tarp. So funny story, I was on the top of a mountain deer hunting, and I had that meat tarp, and there's like a thunderstorm that came in, and I didn't have a tarp with me, so I just threw up the meat tarp right above me, and kept me dry for the most part as that
Good.
storm went over. But it's
Good.
not very big, but it
No,
works.
it's pretty tight. It'll keep your head dry. That's about it. Your feet are
Yeah,
probably got wet still, but
yeah, oh yeah, a little bit. But that was like in
no,
August, so I wasn't worried about getting too wet there.
yeah. No,
But
dude, that stuffing all those animals in a set of game bags, that's good, but you still got to I don't know if you can beat Ryan's record. I don't know what the current stat is, but at one point he had 7 elk, 3 bear, and 3 mule deer, I think, in one set of bags.
wow,
I mean, he replaced one of those bags at one point, but that's how many he had in like 3 seasons. I'm like, good lord, man.
that's crazy.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, you just keep washing them. Just
Yep,
um, I don't know. You cold wash them.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do. Cold washing. I'm actually going to release a video on how I do it, but I just cold wash and then use like baking powder or washing powder. It's like the borax. There's a lot of names for it, but it's essentially just
Yeah.
baking soda, and just use that. And then you wash it cold and it's odor free. It doesn't smell like laundry detergent, and it also doesn't smell like dead animal. It's just a neutral smell. So
Nice.
that's how I do it.
Okay. So no, you're not using dish soap or anything.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
you can if they're holding up fine, you can.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah, that's what I've used, but I didn't even think about using a powder like that. So I'll probably try start using that more now.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
then it just like you don't smell it at all. Like when you put your meat in it and stuff, the bag doesn't smell like you're putting it into your laundry detergent. It just smells
Right.
like nothing. It smells like air, and then I air dry them outside, so it doesn't have any odor at all.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Then they pack down. So I'll normally bring with me like four of the XLs, I guess, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
those long ones, and then I'll bring one, sometimes two of the bone-in elk bags, especially for bears, just because like you put the hide in that big bag, works really good. Or if you did kill like a buck or an elk and you wanted to cape it out, that's a good spot for the cape too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's what one of my buddies always does. He always carries one of the elk quarter bags for capes. But
yeah,
if you kill a if you kill a really big bear, it's kind of tight to fit in
yeah.
that elk bag, but you can still do it. How was the did you were you able to get all the fat out of the bag after you put the bear hide in it?
Yeah, but I mean, I
Or
rolled the hide inside out, right? So fur out
mm-hmm.
and didn't have any issues with it. Um, so
Okay.
yeah, is that something?
Yeah, I mean sometimes like Brian and Ryan have put raw fat in a bag before, and
Mm,
like I don't know if the bag's ever the same. I don't know if you can like especially if it's hot and starts getting all liquidy, like seeps into the pores.
yeah,
I don't know if you can really get it out.
that
But
makes sense. Yeah, yeah, I haven't done that yet, but and they've held up good. So yeah,
okay.
good dude. So without going into like, you don't have to talk about like new products and stuff, but what's kind of like your goals with Grakksaw? Just curious.
Um, well, I have a list of things that I'm gonna keep making, um, that I think are like innovative and new. Like some stuff I have on the list, like it's just new. Like my elk and deer hangers. I mean, there's a million elk and deer hangers. I think mine are different,
Yeah,
but I have a few products that are like that. There's existing things that I want that I think can be improved a lot, and then I have a few ideas, kind of like the boot dryer, that are completely new concepts. Like I have maybe 10 things right now that I'm going to start doing. I'm going to try and do at least one major one a year, if not two. So that's really my only goal. Just keep coming out with stuff, and keep trying to make cool things, unique things, not just I mean game bags are great and all, but like there's a million game bags now.
yeah,
Um there's a million there's a million textile goods, honestly. There's a lot of textile stuff, but um yeah, I want to just keep improving, creating new stuff. That's really my only goal, I guess.
yeah. That's awesome, dude. I mean,
So
that's good. I think that's awesome. Are you full-time Grakksaw or are you I know that you have some other jobs that you do throughout the year.
yeah, I have a fireworks business here, so I run stands. Yeah, it's wild. I
I
run
think it's
some
cool.
stand. It's goofy. I know. It's the closest thing to be a carnival worker, really, or a used card salesman, or both. But I do that from like mid-May through mid-July. I'm pretty busy doing that. And then I'm a mechanical engineer, so I contract for my brother.
Oh, cool.
But that's recently has been pretty like less and less. Like I've been very busy with Grakksaw, so I mean,
Yeah,
I'm pretty much full time Grakksaw. So,
that's cool.
yeah.
That's awesome, dude. I think it's cool that you've like built something in this industry and it's kind of sustaining you good, which is something that a lot of people look up to and want to do, but it's hard to do. So,
Yeah. And I think the best advice for that man is like man, it's not easy. Like, and it's never done. Obviously, like, like I can't just check out. Like, I have to run this. You have to run your stuff. Like, it's daily things you got to do. Even when you go hunting and stuff, like, you got to get a bunch of stuff done before it and a bunch of stuff after it. You have to have things lined up while you're gone. But my advice for anybody that wants to start something in the outdoor industry is you need to just you need you shouldn't do it just I don't know, you shouldn't try and do it for money because that's going to take forever to come. But
Yeah,
you should just do something you're good at that you enjoy and it might come, you know. But if you like, you hear people asking like, how do I get my foot in the outdoor industry? I don't really think there's a good answer for that. I think you need to just do something and figure out like, you know,
yeah,
I don't think someone else can tell you what you're good at or what you should do. Like, you're just going to have to beat your head against the wall till you figure it out because that's kind of what it takes sometimes. So
absolutely. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's advice I would give too. It's just like you got to find, you got to do it because you love it.
yeah, and there's a million avenues, man. It's like
Oh yeah,
your media, like you're like you know, yours is way different than mine. Manufacturer, I guess you'd say, or even like if you're a good salesman. I mean, you can be a salesman for a company. Like, there's a million different avenues. If you do real estate, you can start focusing on hunting properties. Like, there's so many ways to get into it. I mean,
it's so true. I mean, there's jobs like every company out there that sells hunting products, like they have regular jobs just like any other company does. So like even if
yeah,
you're in accounting, you could go be an accountant at a hunting company and like
yeah,
there's still ways to be in the industry and maybe not necessarily like having like an expertise with hunting, but you could be working for companies or like in the industry that way. And
yeah. And as far as people wanting to be like a personality, like, you better at this point you better be super charismatic and kill a lot of stuff and probably be like a guide or outfitter because otherwise you're just not like, you have no shot. So, you
yeah,
know, like to be like a major, whatever, insert, Cliff Gray or Ryan Lampers or whatever, any of the Remy Warren, like, not saying there won't be new guys like that. There always will be, but like, that shouldn't be your goal. You know, your goal shouldn't be to be famous, I don't think.
yeah, I agree.
Those
I
guys, that
agree.
wasn't their goal. It just happened.
Yep, exactly.
Like, if it was their goal, they would already be involved in some sort of scandal. Like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work. So
Yeah. That's cool, dude. I think that's good. A lot of people who listen to the podcast are like wanting to get into the industry and mostly through like what I do, we're like creating media and content. Um, let's touch on that. For Grakksaw, like how do you go about capturing content for your company and how would you what advice would you give young guys who want to get into it?
well, don't take any advice from me because I'm terrible at it. But I use people like you to help capture stuff. I do some of my own. Um, I hire a local guy here sometimes to do like some product photos and stuff.
Nice.
But I'm not good at it. Like, I should do way more. But I've been spending all my time and money on developing new products. My thought being, I'll just have awesome stuff and I'll polish it later. Like, but I keep kicking that can down the road. But
Yeah,
so I'm not the best to answer that question. But it's a lot easier to make something look good that is good rather than trying to take a turd and polish it, in my opinion.
it's
So
true. Yeah. I think that's good that's good. And I think that's actually important for some people to think about. Like you have your strengths and you know that. So like that's where you focus your time. Um, and then if you need to get content and stuff, hire that out. Or whatever, or however you need to get it. But um yeah, I think that's a good thing to just in general in life is like know your strengths and work on those. Um,
yeah,
but
dude, taking product photos that I'm going to put on the site, even though it's only like 3 or 4 you need, it's the most. I hate those days. Like when I schedule that, I'm like, God, this day came. Oh my gosh, I hate this. The lighting always sucks. There's a piece of dust on the lint. Like it's always something. I absolutely hate those days. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather do anything else than that. So
Yeah. That's good, dude. Um, so do you let's hop. We got like 5 minutes on this recording. It's giving me like a warning, but that's okay. Um, what's your plans for next year? Do you have plans for hunts and tags and units, or do you know yet?
yeah. Um, yeah, I'm gonna try and do a bear tour.
Nice.
I should have a Wyoming mule deer tag, Colorado mule deer tag. If I want Colorado elk tag, I have 6 or 7 points.
Nice.
So that's all technically draw stuff. And
Yeah.
then I'm thinking about going to Colorado. I also have the max points for black bear. So going black bear there and California black bear. And I haven't picked the third state, but so trying to do one bear hunt or 3 bear hunts, 1 elk, and 2 deer if I can pull that off. I doubt I will be able to, but that's kind of my options right
Nice. That's
now.
good,
So,
dude.
and then a whitetail back here, but
Oh yeah.
oh my gosh, dude, it's so frustrating.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I could drive out west, kill a bull elk, and come back faster than I could kill a really nice whitetail buck. I would spend not every time, obviously, because it's elk hunting, but I on average, I think I spend more time trying to kill a nice buck than out west. That includes driving. Like, if
Yeah.
you want to kill a nice buck here, you better have some serious time because
Yeah.
I get pictures all the time in the middle of the day of a nice buck, whatever on one of the cameras, and it's like, man, that's at 12:45, and it got light at 6, so that's an all day sit. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude, so it's tough. I have a great respect for guys who kill big whitetails every year with their bow because it's not easy.
Yeah.
Not that elk is
Yeah.
either, but it's a different, it's a different kind of monotony and
Yeah.
toil, really. I mean, whitetail
Yeah.
hunting is just toiling.
Yeah, I've never done it. We actually have a lot of whitetails where I live here in Idaho. But
But
I've
you
just
can spot and stalk them. See, that's not the same.
that's true.
See
That's
here,
true.
you can spot and stalk here, but pretty much you need a snow. That's about the only way to do it. And you need public land most of the time because there's not a big enough tract most places to actually track deer in the snow.
Yeah.
But I do know a guy here who's killed 3 160s with a recurve bow.
Dang.
Spot and stalk, public
Okay.
land, but he goes down to southern Missouri and Mark Twain, and he can walk for 10 miles, 12 miles.
Yeah.
But
Just worth it.
not most of the time, spot and stalk's just not even possible here.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool though. It's something it interests me. I'd want to do it someday or whitetail hunt somewhere, but just haven't got around to it yet. Like you said, it's a lot of time. So
Yeah.
that's good. Well, Austin, we're coming up on our time limit here, but I think we're good. Thanks for coming on, dude. I appreciate you
No
hopping on
problem,
and
man.
sharing some information and your thoughts on stuff.
Hey, no problem, man. Yeah, for what it's worth, I don't know. Probably useless, but
I think
yeah,
it's
I
awesome.
need to when I get off here, I need to send a few things your way. And do you have a coffee table or something to put a skull on?
No, not really. We have a small apartment
Okay.
right now, so
Okay. Well, maybe you can give it as a Christmas gift. I just came out with a tabletop skull hanger, so I'll send you one of those and some other
oh
stuff.
sweet.
But
Heck yeah, well, dude, I appreciate it.
no problem, man.